Welcome to Brother to Brother. It's Trey Styles. I'm here with my co-host, MB. What's up, MB?
Yo, what's going on, world?
Today we talking about forgiveness. And forgiveness is something that I think that we all need to learn how to do. Some people may feel I don't have to forgive anybody, and that's okay. We all got different perspectives about a lot of things. But forgiveness is something that I think we all need to learn how to do, because even if a person wronged you, if they did something wrong with you, hurt you, embarrass you, I think it's good to forgive them, not for them, but for you, so you can move on with your life. You can walk around angry and mad all the time, but those people don't give a damn because they outdoing them. They done moved on. You harboring those feelings, stressing yourself out, but they still progressing. Or even if they progressing to go mess up somebody else's life, they still out there doing them. So forgiveness for me hasn't been easy. It has gotten better since I gotten older. But the person who I had to learn to forgive is my father, because I think my father hurt me more than anybody in my life, because he let me down, so many times. And that was one of the hardest things to do, was to forgive him. And it was a one point where I wanted to hurt him because he had hurt me. I used to try to disrespect him when I got older. Like when I got a little bit over 18, I used to try to do things to hurt him, disrespect him, to make him feel the pain he made me feel. But one thing my mom said to me is that, I hate to hurt your feelings, baby, but your dad only care about that when he see you. Other than that, he don't give a fuck. And that was some real talk right there. And I needed to hear that, because I saw how true that was. She said the only time he really care about it is when he see you. Because when he don't see you, he don't give a fuck about, how you feel and what he did to you. And a lot of people say, oh, your mother was cold for that. But my mother told me the truth because I needed to hear that. And what I learned is, in the process of me trying to hurt him, the only person I hurt was myself, because he didn't give a damn. He still was going to do him. There's times I tried to repair my relationship with him. He let me down again. It's time I put my confidence in him, another let down again. And the few times that I did think our relationship was progressing and I thought I was going to be able to forgive him, he was just trying to use me. Next thing you know, I try to forgive him, build a relationship with him. He trying to get me to drive him around the city. He trying to use my urine to get a job. And I actually gave it to him before. So,
Yeah.
and I mean that's crazy. But I wanted my father to be there so bad, but he let me down so many times. So it was hard not to be jaded. So sometimes when you know your strengths, your weaknesses, and you accept people for who they really are, and not for what you want them to be, or what you think they could be. You learn to, it still hurt, but it don't hurt you as much, because I know what to expect of them now. I know not to put too much confidence in them. We cool as far as us just talking about general things, but if we talk too much about something, you get the line and being fake again. But it was real hard for me to forgive my father. So that was the person who hurt me more than anybody in the world, I would say, because that's your father. You want unconditional love from your father. Besides your mom, your father is the only one that's supposed to give you unconditional love. Everybody else, you mean is really conditional, because I'm not here because of them. I'm here because of my mom and my dad. So it was always like that void there with dad not being there. But I met other great men, good men later on in life who helped me out a whole lot. But even as a man, still part of me always wanted, my dad to be there, to feel like, to feel whole. I mean, I feel like a whole man, but my life could have been much easier, or it wouldn't have been as painful if Dad would have been there and owned up to his mistakes and his shortcomings, and been there for me. So that was one person that was hard for me to forgive, and I'm gonna get back on how I was able to forgive him. But right now, I want to know who was it hard for you to forgive, or was your first experience with learning how to forgive a person who may have hurt you, made you jaded, whether it was mom, dad, sisters, brother, girlfriend, or friend.
Really, my friends I grew up with, and this is like really recently, kind of. But you know what? At first, when we were starting this podcast today, I was kind of feeling like I don't forgive nobody, but actually, you do forgive people. You forgive people when you move on. You know what I'm saying? I still had an attitude like, f them. That's just me. But I don't wish no ill will on nobody. You know what I'm saying? It just some things I took personal. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up together. Sometimes I don't get invited to things for whatever reason. The people that's involved know what the deal is, but for the most part, the reason doesn't even have anything to do with me. But at the same time, I still don't get invited to important things like people, barbecues, weddings. One of my main men that I grew up with had a wedding and didn't invite me. I kind of took that to heart. You know what I'm saying? But that's my dude though. At the same time, I just be like, F it. F them niggas. I move on my life. I'm happy. And I feel a certain way about it. I still forgive them. You know what I'm saying? Because those is like my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? I never really had too many friends or family members I've never been really close to. So most of the time, I don't have to deal with disappointment when it comes to people. Being married, I had a lot of disappointments with my wife and everything. And I won't lie, I still hold grudges in certain, when I think about certain things that happened during our time together. But we only live once. How long can I really be mad at somebody for something? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I forgive her because I still do things that get things done that she actually need, whether it's for the kids or for her. Even after I pay what I'm supposed to pay, sometimes she might fall on hard times and something that needs to be done, ASAP, and nobody else around to help her. People that she trusted. I hope that she forgive them for not being there when she needed them. Maybe something going on that I don't know about, but whatever. I can only control what I can control. So, yeah, I forgive her also. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm gonna let you get back to you, but you only live once. Life is short. Like my man said, you can't go through life angry. You know what I'm saying? Being mad at people, because it's not gonna serve you no good purpose. So, yeah.
Right. And just think about people who do go through life angry. Miserable as hell. Miserable as hell.
Yeah.
Like some of these older people you see just nitpicking all the time. Some of them are aunts and uncles, grandddads, grandmas, just nitpicking. And I don't want to be that old person that's just miserable, just nitpicking and fussing about every little thing. Because they ain't really got nothing going on in their life, and not just because they're old. Because you got some grouchy young people too, and we all go through something, so you never know what a person may be going through. But it's like some people you'll see, and like you see them say 100 times, and like 51 or more times you see them, they always got a attitude or a bad disposition. That's a sign. That's the person who has a bad attitude. Now, if you see them 100 times and maybe like 20 times, 10 times they angry or something, that could happen. That's life. Maybe that doesn't mean they're just an angry person or got a bad disposition. That's just life. Sometimes we go through ups and downs. But getting back to my dad, one thing I remember on my path to forgiving this man for letting me down was how bitter I was, and I've been bitter a lot of times. even girls who I felt, you know, that I cared about who did me wrong, you know, I felt bitter towards them. You know? Sometimes I was thinking in my head like, shit, I wish I could see her somewhere. She's stranded and she got to look through me and come ask me for help. And I say, get the fuck out of my face. You know, I felt that way before. Or see somebody, you know, maybe doing something bad to them and, you know, they looking for me for help. And I say, what you looking over there for? You know, but we all have been bitter. But that was one of the most significant things I had to get over, with just people, period, but especially with my father being bitter. Like, wanting that man to hurt, wanting that man to feel pain that he caused me. Want to, you know, relish in his misery. You know, I wanted to see him hurt. You know, I wanted to see him fail. And I know this may sound sick, but I'm just telling you the real. Because he hurt me, so I wanted him to hurt. Remember, hurt people. And I was hurt a whole lot by this man, you know. And I put so much confidence in him. The lies. Saying, a lot of times he said, he's going to come pick me up. Didn't come pick me up. Left me on the steps crying. You know, little mom talking down on him. But my mom did eventually stop that. When she matured, she stopped talking down on my dad. You know, and that's one thing I can't say about her. But like I said, a lot of things she said turned out to be true. But not taking nothing off my dad. But I always look at it like, sometimes we could talk about our dads, but at the end of the day, my mom still did choose my dad to reproduce with. You know, so that's still the man she chose. So I kind of hold her accountable for some things, you know, because at the end of the day, you still chose, you know, to reproduce with that man. And that's something I even talked to her about, you know. And, you know, like a lot of people, she you know, say I was young and all that, but at the end of the day, it's still a choice she made. Still have the choice. But that's neither here nor there. But that path to forgiveness is a rocky path. I'm telling you, you'll be bitter. I was bitter. Whenever I seen them, you know, I just got angry. I could be laughing and have been in a good mood, but he come, my whole mood changed. It went from feeling like I could take on the world or the world was mine to me feeling melancholy. You know, feeling like I couldn't do shit in the world, or feeling like I wasn't shit at all, because I gave that man so much of my energy. You know, I was so bitter that it was hard for me to function around him. You know, it was very hard for me to function around him, and I did not want him to enjoy anything. I did not want him to enjoy anything. Every time I seen the man, I swear, I was really wishing bad shit was happening to him. But I had to get over that bitterness. How did I get over it? Because I had an older male relative of mine tell me, are you going to bury the hatchet, or you going to let this bother you for the rest of your life? You know, the man did what he did. Ain't nobody perfect, you know. But are you going to go on? Because if you keep harboring these feelings, eventually that's going to lead to your perdition. That's going to lead to your ruin. Because the only person that's dealing with all this stress and all this pain and all this anger is you. And stress kills. Stress will weigh your ass down. But I had to face that reality that I accepted my dad for who he really was. And you have to accept people for the fact that some people are going to be who they are. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change people. They got to want to change for themselves. And it hurt. But I came to that realization that, you know, I gotta let this man be who he gonna be. Because ain't nothing I can really do about it. And that's how I began to get on that path towards forgiveness. To the ability today that when I see him, I don't feel no ill will. To the ability, to the fact that when he's speaking things and he telling lies, and I know he lying about it, it don't get me mad no more, because I accept him for who he really is. That's just who he is. Some people, that's what they do. They just lie. Like some people just gonna cheat. That's who they are. They just gonna cheat. You know, some people they gonna stay in the streets. If that's what they gonna do, that's what they gonna do. Ain't nothing you can really do about it. But that's how I forgave my father, by coming to the realization that this man is who this man is. There's nothing I can do to change him. And when I accepted that fact, my life got better. I got more peace. I wasn't all stressed out. I could sleep better because I knew I knew what to expect from him, and I forgave him. And I don't hate the man at all no more. Because at one point I definitely hated that man, but I don't hate him at all right now. I could sit in the room and kick it with him, and our relationship don't go no further than that. We don't talk on the phone or anything. We kind of see each other when we see each other, but that's best. That's the best for us as far as our relationship. That's the best that we can do at this moment. Maybe in the future it'll get better. Maybe it'll become more real. But right now, he's still the same person, and I really can't hang with him like that. But I don't hate him at all no more. I forgave him, and I feel much, much better. So what you got to say about those people, like those friends in particular? Like, was it hard to forgive them? Or like, what was the path towards forgiving your friends who you felt turned on you?
You know what, man? It's a conflicting thing. Sometimes I feel like, just forget it, man. Because I'm so confident in myself. I can roll anywhere and find friends. I have fun wherever I go. So the people that I grew up with don't invite me to anything. It's like, whatever, because they all grew up in their own little small circle. I was kind of like, if this the circle, I'm like right here or right outside the circle. I'm touching the circle, but not quite in there. So it's something that I kind of grew up used to, but at the same time, I want to be part of that because we from the same hood. You know what I'm saying? But no, if you don't forgive anybody and you just walking around with a grudge and you feeling vengeful, you're gonna be eventually you're gonna become a villain, and then that's not me. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be mad at nobody all the time, man. You gotta keep it moving, man. And at the same time, like by me not being in a circle and hanging out with a group of individuals all the time, it allowed me to work on myself and work on my own brand and how I look and the way I shine. So it's a benefit in that, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, the things I've been through, sometimes you got to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because people would beat themselves up like, damn, I could have did this, I could have did that. All right, if you woke up this morning, you got a chance to change that. So, sometimes you got to forgive yourself for your own shortcomings, you know what I'm saying?
Did you ever confront your friend about that?
Yeah, I tell them that all the time. They had their little excuses or whatever, but it's whatever. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than I can't go ahead and explain it on air, but it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just involved by affiliation. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I confronted my father about how I really felt about him. And when I confronted him about these things, it's like he still couldn't really man up. He still came up with excuses like, I tend to mark people sometimes when I say what they said. But he said, all I told my kids to do was pick up the phone. If they pick up the phone, I would have been able to get them anything they needed. But if they didn't pick up the phone, how was I supposed to know? And I felt that was a lame ass excuse. Because I'm your child. I didn't ask to be here. I'm here because of your actions. You make the effort. Even if a kid is angry at you, especially if they're small, that's still your child. They got a reason for being angry at you. I feel you supposed to put in the effort to reach out to me. He always, and a lot of things he did, he always point the finger at everybody else. He never owned up to his shit, when I would confront him. So that's why it was hard confronting him, because he's not gonna man up. He can't really face the fact that, okay, you fucked up. Be real about it. Just be honest. I know it's hard to be I think it's hard to be honest because hell, you know, people may judge you or whatever, but people judging you anyway. No matter what people say I don't judge. Everybody judges. We judge every single day. Decisions we make, even when we decide what kind of food to eat. You know, everybody judges. I don't care how sanctified you say you are. We all judge. I judge.
Human nature. Because you gotta judge to make right decisions sometimes. So
Absolutely.
Just naturally.
Absolutely. You judge. You know, you judge the guy who's maybe at the liquor store begging you. Then he tried to introduce himself to you. You judge him in some kind of way. You judge the girl who maybe had a whole lot of kids who was trying to flirt with you. You know, you judge a person who in a hoopty. You judge a person in a suit. You judge a person who's sad. Everybody judges, but ain't none of us perfect. But the only thing about my dad that really hurt me is just because he just could never man up and just be real. When I confront him, it's not my fault. You're not the only one. There's other kids too, but I'm not worried about them. And maybe that was selfish, but I'm not worried about your relationship with them. I'm talking about your relationship with me. They not confronting you. I'm the one confronting you about this. Tell me why you wasn't there. When he got a drink in him, he tried to come. You know.
You still be asking him this now, though?
No, I don't ask him this at all. This is around the time I was like 18.
Yeah,
18
then it probably mattered. Like now.
Nah, at this point it don't matter at all. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a man now. Don't get me wrong. We still need help. You know, I'm a man. I'm a human. You know, me and we got feelings too. We want people to care. We want people to love.
Yeah,
we want support
no
as well. But I just accepted him for who he really is, and that gave me peace. But he was just always just blaming everybody else. He always would kind of deflect the problem from him. Even when I say, okay, yeah, you weren't here, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, and I want to know why. Well, those things your grandma did, I can't even tell you some stuff she did. It's things she did, you know. I'm like, I'm not talking about my grandma. I'm talking about me and you.
Yeah.
It's just real hard for him to just be real. And like my mom always said, you just gotta face the fact, baby. Everybody ain't gonna be as honest as you. Cause to me, integrity is life. To some people, it's just a word.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest mistakes you can make in life is think somebody think just like you. Because you don't know what they think. My values and your values, you know, may coincide, or we may be at a variance with one another.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just
and
life.
you both still might be right, but just different methods. You know
Right. You know, like in my opinion, I'm right. In your opinion, you right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and that's how it is sometimes. But I do believe it's a such thing as opinion, and such things as facts. Sometimes what I'm saying may be right, and sometimes I could be wrong, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I do believe my father is wrong in this regard for not being there for me. Now, as I got older and I matured, I understand that he didn't necessarily have a father in his life. And the man I came to know as my grandfather, while he taught my dad and his brothers like mechanical skills, because he was a master mechanic, and I loved the man. That's the only grandfather I knew. But he provided them with a skill to feed themselves for life. But on the flip side of that, you know, alcohol was his demons. So he didn't really give them much emotional support. You know, he didn't really fill them up emotionally. So I understand that my father probably don't know how to be a father. I understand that now, because even times when I used to talk with him in the car, sometimes it was like I was talking to a little kid. I'd be talking to him like, even when I tried to ask him about sex, he was acting like a little kid.
Yeah.
He couldn't be real about it. I was asking him about sex, like this old. He couldn't. He was acting like a little kid. He like, it don't matter. He just smirking. I'm like, he really couldn't hold no conversation with me about that.
Yeah.
You know, so I know he don't know how to be a father, but the thing is, he never really tried either. You know, he was too busy in the streets doing whatever. You know, so like I said, he sacrificed his kids for the streets, for the for the street fame, for the money, for the women, for that fake crowd. You know, but I did confront the man, and I never really got a straight answer. You know, but once again, I had to face the fact he is who he is, and accept and move on, and that's what I did. That's one thing being a youth counselor taught me when I was working with those boys in there. You know, that you can't change people. No matter how bad you want to see them change, no matter how bad you want to form, they gotta want it for themselves. And it hurts. It hurts like hell, but hey, you just have to. You gotta let people go. You gotta let people go. And if you choose to deal with them, you know, deal with them on your own terms. Don't expect too much of them. Like, I don't really expect too much from my father, and that gave me peace. But I was glad that I did confront him, because that's something I would have been. I would have lived to regret if I never confronted him, but I got it off my chest. I didn't get the answer. I never got a straight answer, but I still confronted him, and that was that. And the thing that made me forgive him, like I said once again, was I had to get forgiven for me. Because the only person that was stressed out, the only person who was dealing with all that anguish was me. Because he out living and doing him, and ain't thinking about me, and ain't thinking about nobody else. Just like my mother said, you know, he only cares when he sees you. Other than that, he don't give a damn. And that's true. That's like with anybody. Like even a girl who broke your heart, or a girl who cheated on you, or a friend who, you know, violated your trust, told some of your secrets. They did what they did. You can stay mad at them, but they gonna keep living. Ain't like you getting mad, you being mad at them gonna stop them from doing them. They ain't gonna just go somewhere and die because you mad at them. Yeah. You know, when they on the other side of the world, they ain't thinking about you. They probably hadn't moved on. The girl walked out on you, probably got a new boyfriend now, and she probably happy with him. And your friend who told your secret probably done moved on with new friends, and they ain't thinking about you like, oh well. And you know, one of the craziest things about forgiveness or just dealing with reality is, let's say a person did actually cheat on you, for example, and they cheated on you with a person and actually may leave you for that person and then actually go be happy with that person they cheated on you with, and that really will fuck you up. That can make you bitter as hell. Yeah, they've been in a situation like that, but at the end of the day, that they gone. It's life. So they gone, so what can you do? I mean, what the options are? Kill yourself, kill him, kill her. No, I don't want you to do that at all. I mean, well, that still ain't gonna solve the problem.
Yeah, some people can't take it, and unfortunately, sometimes that happens. You know what I'm saying? Them passion crimes, man, those be the worst, man. And some people don't know how to forgive, or it's just a situation where, you know, somebody done messed with somebody's wife, and he done invested his life in that whole household. You gonna kill somebody, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm glad I never been in nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just try not to get too close to people. You know what I'm saying? I used to try to fit in, be accepted. Now I'm like, man, I do me, and I'm absolutely happy about it. You know what I'm saying? But now that I look at it, yeah, I have forgiven everybody that done me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't wish no ill will on anybody. And if I see anybody I ever had a problem with, it's not going to be any beef or anything. Because it's beef, just like Biggie Small said, beef is it's on when you see you in the streets. Beef is when your moms ain't safe out in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
Beef is when I see you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And I see you.
I know I ain't heard that in a little bit, so I probably didn't say it exactly right. But man, like I said, I don't have no real beef with anybody. If I see you out in the streets and we ever had a problem, man, I'll shake your hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with nobody, and I'm not gonna hold any grudges, cause you're not gonna get your blessings that way, man.
I hear that. I probably wouldn't shake their hand, but I wouldn't try to do nothing to hurt them.
and that also depends, because like you said, some people you just gotta cut off all the way. You shake their hand, it's gonna just pass that bad energy back to you, and you don't need that. You cut that energy off and you leave it gone. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, some people will do you wrong, act like you did something wrong to them. And I'm like, you got the nerve, like, damn, you did something wrong to me. And you trying to be hard?
You know, and if that's the case, hey, maybe that's for the better.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I like, you played me, you dissed me, you stole from me, you told my personal business, and then you acting like I did something wrong to you. That'll make you want to whoop somebody's ass. But don't engage. I wouldn't engage. I just accept it and keep it pushing. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do, is keep it moving. But I want to get back to, like, when you was talking about your friends, like, what was the hardest situation you ever had to forgive a person in?
What involving them?
No, involving anybody. What was the hardest for you to forgive someone? Because, like, for me, it was my dad. Like, it was friends that went bad on me. It was women that went bad on me. Relatives that went bad on me. But the most pain I ever got, the hardest person for me to forgive was my father. Yeah. Because that's who hurt me the most. Because that's the that's the only person who's really, like I said, supposed to really be there for me. A friend ain't necessarily really got to be there for me. Yeah. And neither does a wife. She's not necessarily there, but your parents, they're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So that's who really hurt me the most, was my dad. Like, you know, other people, but my dad was the one. It was hard for me to forgive. It was hardest for me to forgive, but I did forgive him. And, you know, we can chop it up a little bit nowadays. And, you know, the extent of our relationship is just when we see each other, we chop it up here and there, and that's pretty much that. You know, we don't talk on the phone, like I said. We don't hang out, you know, and that's our peace right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess, like, one of the hardest things I really had to deal with and really had to forgive was, like, the breakup with my wife. Because, you know, I can't lie, I was fortunate enough to have both my parents in the house, so I wanted the same thing for my children, you know, and the breakup with my wife kind of took that, you know, opportunity away from me. But, you know, I wasn't perfect. I wasn't the perfect husband, so maybe she needed to find her peace of mind. I know I definitely found my peace of mind since we've been, you know, split. So, you know, some things just aren't meant to be, you know what I'm saying? If it's stressing you out and eventually you're trying to kill each other, you know, sometimes you just got to end it. But I do regret not having that opportunity for my children to grow with both of their parents in the household, because that's very vital, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't lie. Like I said, because this, like what I said, my friends never invite me to anything. Mm-hmm. It kind of started when I was a child. Like, my big brother was I ain't gonna lie, he's a criminal. So my father always said I had to pay for his sins. Like, he never let me go anywhere. I could never go outside, and I always had a curfew. While my other friends, they never had fathers. And they got to hang as much as they wanted to. And I think that kind of transitioned over to my adulthood by me not really hanging with them as much when I was a child. They kind of forget about me because it's just the norm, I guess. Even though they can still pick up the phone and call me, but, yo, it's cool. I still love them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, the hardest thing was to break up with my wife, because I wanted my kids to have that same opportunity that I did, that grew up with a father in the household. Having your dad down the hallway in the room, that'll keep you from doing a lot of dumb stuff that you would do if, you know, that presence wasn't there. So that's true indeed, man.
So why you forgive her?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, man. Even if you know, like I said, I still got a grudge sometimes, but I mean, if I didn't forgive her, I wouldn't be able to stand in the room with her, you know what I'm saying, without wanting to punch her in the face or something. And I'm not a violent person. I wouldn't do nothing like that. But if you don't forgive somebody, you're going to be at odds at all times. And that's not the case. So, in all actuality, yeah, I guess I could have forgiven her.
That's what's up, man. Forgiveness is good. Like they say, laughter is like medicine to the soul. Forgiveness is the same to me. So this is brother to brother, Trey Styles, MB. We in the forgiving mood, but that don't mean I'm gonna let you take advantage of me. I forgive you, but don't mean I gotta deal with you either. But we get back at you.
Yep, I'm MB. Peace out.